one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I think the speaker's on.
What's that?
I think this is on.
I'm sorry.
Gotta get them plugged in. You got them plugged? Plug in?
Hello?
It was on.
Hello?
There we go.
Bluetooth pairing.
What's that? Hello?
Yeah.
Thank you for all your patience. At this time, we'll read the statement of the meeting.
Following notice of meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meeting Act was originally provided in the following manner. By email, written notice to the Courier Post in the retrospect on January 24, 2024. By postal written notice on the official bulletin board at the municipal building on January 24, 2024. By following written notice by the clerk of the borough of Woodlynne on January 24, 2024.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Fontaine?
Present.
Mr. Fuentes?
Present.
Mr. Rodriguez called out sick. Ms. Feliciano?
Present.
President Early?
Here.
Mayor Short?
Yes, sir. Committee reports. Committee report for public safety, Councilman Fontaine.
Good evening,
Good evening, sir.
Solicitor Mayor, Clerk, fellow members, public. This is my report for the month of October 1st to October 31st. Shooting incident. At 10/31/2024, there was an illegal discharge. On October 3rd, approximately 21:45 hours, officer responding to the area of 1615 Crossland Avenue in reference to a 2-round shot spotter activation. Upon arrival, officer located 2 spent .40 caliber shell casting in the roadway directly in front of 1615 Crossland Avenue. Crimes. There were 4 larceny, 8 larceny front auto, 1 burglary, 1 motor vehicle theft, a grand total of 7 crimes. Arrest. There were 7 warrants of arrest, 3 CDS related, 1 contempt of court, 1 trespass, 1 shoplifting, 1 assault related. In total, there was 12 arrests. Summon issues. There were 0 municipal offenses, 5 traffic offenses, 1 parking offenses, 46 verbal warnings, a total of 62. 52 summon issued. Call for service. There were 7 citizen contact, citizen initiated. There were 16 citizen contact officer initiated. There were 2 suspicious vehicle occupied, 100 traffic stop, 24 pedestrian stops. A grand, the crime conditions check was 247. Our crime condition check was 240. Crime condition check team led was 7. Special attention checks were 5. Property checks were 209. reactive were 209, administration was 59, a grand total of 878 calls. This was submitted by Cannon County Police Department for the month of October of 2024. I would like also to do a shout out for Officer Rodriguez. Officer Rodriguez, sometimes does the crossing in front of the school. And he is just so exceptional. Conduct traffic wonderfully. He greets people, asks them how they're doing, have a great day, having a problem. It's a wonderful sight to see this in front of the school. You know, it's just lovely. And thank you, you know, for the officers. And I hope all the officers are just like Officer Rodriguez. This is my report. No, but then he's not here.
Is it the one class one now?
No.
No. Thank you. You've heard the report for public safety. Can you see the motion to file? A second?
Second.
Full vote, please.
Mr. Fontanes?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Mr. Feliciano?
Yes.
President Early?
Yes.
Committee report for public building, Councilman Fuentes.
Please, Mayor, Solicitor, Council, President, Council, and public. This is my summary report for the month of October 1st through October 31st, 2024. Permits process was 6, certificate 7, alteration was 6, building 1, electric was 5, plumbing was 1, mechanical 6. That's grand total of 2657 for that month. This is my summary report for the month of October. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Fuentes. You've heard the report of public building. Can I please get motion and second for filing?
Motion.
Second.
Full vote, please.
Mr. Fontanes?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Mr. Feliciano?
Yes.
President Early?
Yes.
Committee report for public affairs and regulation, Councilman Feliciano.
Good evening, Mayor, Solicitor, Clerk, members of council, council president, and the public. This is my report for October 2024. We were happy to hold our annual Woodlynne trunk or treat. It was held on October 26th from 12 to 2:30. We were pleased with the turnout. We had a lot of children come in with their parents. This was all made possible by our volunteers, those that came to show up. That included our Woodlynne Educational Assembly. Our Woodlynne teachers came out. We had many family members come and support this venture. We want to also make mention, thanks to our Camden County Police Department for coming, so we appreciate you guys being there and showing your presence. It really made a difference for our community to see such unity. I'd like to thank our Public Works, Fire Department, also Belmar. We did something a little bit different this year. We used to have the hay rides and we brought it back. So we wanted to make mention that Belmar was able to provide us with the trailer so that we can do the hay ride. And the kids absolutely loved it. I think the parents did too, because I saw a bunch of parents on there as well. So it was definitely something that we would like to continue to do when we have our annual trunk or treats. So it was really a beautiful day, and it was just a a good experience seeing everyone come out and just celebrate our children, and our families, enjoy this special day. Aside from this, event, our next event will be our annual tree lighting event, which is gonna be held on, December 6th at 7 p.m. Right on our Woodland Avenue and Cooper Avenue, intersection. We normally have our, tree lighting event during that time. I've already reached out to the school, so they are aware. We welcome our, children to come out, because that's the time that we get them to come and do caroling and, come out with their fellow classmates. So, look forward to seeing everyone come out for that as well. Again, that is, our annual tree lighting event, December 6th at 7 p.m. We've also partnered with, Pastor Blackwell and the Ashbury Church. So we are continuing to do that. So following the tree lighting event, he usually opens his doors for us to go over and have light refreshments. And I think last year there was like a magic show.
Yeah.
Last year was a magic show, so that was really nice. So we look forward to having everybody come out for that. All right, this is my report for October 2024. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Feliciano. You heard the report for public welfare and recreation. Motion and second for filing.
Motion.
Second.
Full vote, please.
Mr. Fontanes?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Feliciano?
Yes.
President Early?
Yes.
Committee report for 10 minutes. Council President Arlen.
Good evening, Mayor, Mr. Solicitor, members of the public. This is the finance report for the month of October. Tax payments total that to be $282, for a total of $322,417.66. Special charges and payments total for 110. Total amount was $61,331.12. Lien payments, there were 46, for a total of $45,570.72. Landlord registrations, there were 21, for a total of $4,200. Landlord re-inspections, there was 1, for a total of $40. MRNA, total of 6, for a total of $28,453.33. Total payments of miscellaneous payments for 218, for $92,114.05. All total of ins and outs for 656. For total revenues of $521,433.55. That concludes the report for the month of October.
Thank you, Council President. You heard the report of finance. Can I get a motion and second?
Motion.
Full vote, please.
Mr. Fontanes?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Feliciano?
Yes.
President Early?
Yes.
In addition, committee report for public work, Council President.
Yep, good evening. I just wanted to let everyone, and if you're not aware, it is now leaf pickup season. They will be picking up leaves. The only time they will not pick them up is if the residents bag them. You may put them in paper brown bags so that they don't blow all over if you choose to do so, or in a container, like a barrel where they can just dump it, or just simply rake them to the curbside. Main days are Thursdays and Fridays, obviously, because it is not trash and recycle days. And to piggyback on Councilwoman Feliciano's praise for the trunk or treat, I really like to extend extra thanks to my guys, especially Eddie. Came dressed in costume, drove the kids around dressed as a gremlin, and also towards the end of the event, we had a small child arrive very late, very upset because he thought he missed out on candy. But Eddie came to the rescue and was able to produce candy and fill his bucket, so kind of made his day. So it's, these little things that we do appreciate. So that does conclude my report for the month of October.
Thank you again. Before the report of public work, can I please get a motion and second?
Motion.
Second.
Vote please.
Mr. Fontaine?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Feliciano?
Yes.
President Early?
Yes.
Thank you. This time we'll go down to correspondence and I'll let the engineer give us update.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, everyone. I submitted my report in writing and just a few updates since our last report. The CDBG project on Cooper Avenue, we had the pre-construction meeting on October 18th. The notice to proceed to Earl Asphalt was issued on October 28th, and we're just waiting for construction to start on that project. The DOT project on 4th Street, construction's ongoing. We've been dealing with a lot of conflicts trying to install our storm pipe, but we've been working with CCMUA, PSE&G Gas, and Collingswood Water to get all those issues resolved. Considering everything we're running into, it's going pretty smoothly, I would say. And the last thing is, under general engineering, DCA has announced that the fiscal year 2025 local recreation improvement grant applications are being accepted now. They're due by January 31st. As you may recall, we got funding last year for the concession stand. We are trying to find out if we can apply for a second phase because the $72,000 we got last year will not do a whole lot for the concession stand. So we're trying to find out if that might make it application. Once we find that out, I'll report back to mayor and council, and we'll just need a resolution in December or January for us to put that application together, but we'll be more than happy to get something submitted. We just have to find out if the concession stand would be a good application. That's all I have, unless anybody has any questions on anything.
Anybody have a question?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, engineer. Any more business by the council? If not, I'll head over to new business as a work session. We have a new proposal, Councilmember, from our computer guys to make every council member to have email. I'm hoping that this will start in January. They could start now fixing it up. I still haven't signed up the contract, but in comparison to what we have now, they give us some savings from what we're paying now with the, I think 11 or 12 emails we have. But this time it's gonna be 25 emails, so everybody will get email and be able to have 360 Microsoft and be accessible to everything Microsoft offers, including cloud storage. And I have applied for a grant for male mental health wellness. Apparently, it was supposed to be $20,000 grant. But they said there's a lot of people applied for it, so they awarded us $12,000. And they're gonna give us the certificate that the New Jersey League of Municipalities on the 19th. It's gonna be headed by the health people that we have in town. That will be the council president, Richard, there's one other lady that live in Evergreen. So they're gonna head that grant to make sure that what the requirements is asking that we do it, and we go from there. But I will get all the information. If any of you will be at the league, please let me know. I'll give you the location at the time it will be awarded, so we can get what they ask us to get. So we also apply for a grant they call ADI grant. It's in relation to also the mental thing, but this is to allow the community to come out and use exercising equipment. So they're gonna give us, if we win it, they're gonna give us $10,000 to purchase, exercise equipment or to fix the one that we already have. And, my thought was the one we already have at the firehouse on that day, if we can use the money and put more equipment there. And hopefully try to make it accessible to people who wanna use it. Or if there's another location available, we can move to that location. Okay, but the grant has not been awarded yet. I don't know when that will be, but they will let us know. Okay. Then the next one is what you guys have all these paper, 4 papers in front of you. I'm really sorry that it's coming, to this short information, which is not the intention. But I think because of the new, election that just coming, they wanted to move back to award the grant, and they wanted us to start dumping the application for real. We were going to apply for the EPA, called Community Change Grant Program. And, this community change program could be between, community-based organization and community-based organization. In addition, it could be between community-based organization and, a city or a community. However, we have applied for technical assistance for this grant so that the EPA will help us. The reason why I was late on the, trick or treat or chocolate tree is because every Saturday between 12, we have this meeting with the EPA people, and they go through what I have put in, and they will critique it and tell us what to change so that we'll be in a better chance of getting it. So that's one of the days, it's usually on Saturday. So I've been doing this for almost like 5 weeks in a row, listening to them and changing things, and believe me, we got like 90% chance of getting it. But after the election, they send us, an email that they're moving everything backwards. I think they want an award before the new administration comes up. So that is why all this looks like it's, so sudden. So what you have in front of you is an agreement that we need to put into the, portal as a part of the, things that we are submitting. The first one is, okay. Yes. First one actually will be changed by the, attorney. And, when I was talking to Jerry about it, he also mentioned about the same issue that I had. And I thought that, yeah, let's change it the way that is great. And, it's about, it's about,
I'm sorry. Yeah, so the one change I recommend on the, resolution here, and also, that it should be further memorialized in a contract, that compensation for the year for that shall not exceed 17,500, which is your regular threshold, and that is appropriate for the position.
Which
That was not
one are you reading off of? Because like,
the,
nobody's following any of this, to be very honest.
okay, so. So there's an EPA grant. A consultant has offered to submit an application, I guess we're working with the mayor, to submit for this grant money. grant money is received and the grant is successful, they want to be compensated. Currently, as it's been submitted, it's written as 10% of the grant amount that is received. The issue with just a flat 10% is that, say you get lucky and get $200,000, 10% is $20,000. So that can be problematic for the budget. So then there need to be some type of financial guardrails for the borough given the size.
Well,
Go ahead.
since like this is all kind of getting through, can we allocate time to actually discuss this, go over all the financial ramifications, what this all is? Because I don't want to, like, as we're sitting here listening, every one of us is completely and fairly lost. We've not been involved in any of these discussions. So before we get into consulting fee, yada, yada, I mean, there's things that we need to discuss with CFO. If their EPA grant, has the engineering firm been enlightened on any of this? Who is this consultant guy? How are we going to pay him? All that kind of stuff. This should have been like,
So Mayor, when is the grant due?
Like I said, everything is now pushed back because they wanted to award before the new administration comes in. I believe that was why it got pushed back. And, we are supposed to start uploading into their portal by the, I believe 15th.
Of November?
Of November, 2 days.
that's only 2 days. We haven't had any,
Well, anyway, if you could remember, I think that was in March, when this grant came up, I approached our engineer, I mean, he's still down there, and I asked them if they can, not if they can they do this? And our engineer said they don't do things like that. Kind of like pressurizing me a little bit, and, you know, it's like,
I understand that, but like all like financial responsibility and whether this is all even feasible has not even been discussed. It tells us it's gotta be done by the 15th. That's kind of ludicrous. I'm sorry, but.
yeah, well, the thing is, it's a $20 million grant. It is for community change grant.
I get it, but you never had any discussion with any of us until tonight.
Is there a possibility that this grant has an extension? Like, you know, if the 15th is the deadline, you know, are they gonna be offering extension? And if they do, then we'll have more opportunity to review.
Well, the thing is this, council, I know I had, notwithstanding my discussion with the engineer, I had brought it in here with the council, even Mr. Edward was here. And everybody was like, okay, yeah, he was here, you guys could recollect, he was here, and when I brought it up, it's like everybody will help get it done, and it was never followed through. Okay, but the thing is this, the grant want us to have CBO, which is community-based organization, and I picked OEO, who also help in town for other things. And also, the other person that we picked is, New Beginning. The only thing is, if Woodlynne doesn't want it, like I said, this grant could be, COB to COB. I mean, community-based organization to community-based organization. And we could head it and then have the COB work as a partner. So most of the other trade things you see there is a partnering agreement. However, if we don't want it, due to the time slack, and due to that, we haven't discussed it before, there is no possibility that this community-based organizations can take over on this. And we will not be involved, and everything will be done over there on site.
Is there an option for these two potential partners to just give letters of support and us submit an application of our own without the consultant, and then re-engage them, the grant administrator, if we need to, so that the council has time to digest it.
I mean, if council have, question with the consultant, that's fine, they can put that out, because so far, I'm the one putting everything in. So it might take me a while to catch up. I mean, if I have.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, it's just that there's too many like unknowns. Like, I don't, we discussed hiring a consultant, but like the script got flipped on that. First it was a contingency basis on it, the grant they get a percentage of. Then it was a per hour and a contingency. Well, that was never voted on fully, so to just turn around and say, we're gonna hire this man who none of us know who he is, what his credentials
We
are.
could keep that apart if that is a bone of contention. Let's keep it apart. We may not vote on it, okay? However, the partnering with the, Rutgers University, which you have there, the partnering with OEO and the partnering with the New Beginning, if that is okay for you guys.
Yeah, we don't need a consultant to get involved in that, correct? We can proceed with that on our own without paying an outside consultant.
Correct.
I do not have a
Pretty much
problem
just
with that.
approving them as a partner.
Correct.
And they will submit letters of support along with that grant application and.
Without being-
Mayor would fire.
Without being a paid consultant that
And
we're
then I
hiring.
will call you when I'm gonna be putting them in, put another computer next to me, and you help me put them all that in, and now we're gonna go through. That's no problem.
But
That's what, I don't think
that's-
that's what she was saying.
that's not what I'm saying.
Go ahead, no, don't be forceful, I'm listening.
No, but I am,
Sorry
because
about that, but go ahead.
I'm not trying to make a mountain out of a molehill, but you're asking us to do something with not a lot of meat behind it, with a lot of like conflicting back and forth. It's going against what we discussed, how we were going to hire on somebody. We never agreed to hire on anybody, but you're asking us to hire somebody as a consultant that we have no idea what his credentials are, what type of monies he's looking for. So the portions of like these grants that can be submitted without them getting involved, I do not have a problem with. It is these other things that have not been discussed at all with any of us that I have a big problem with. And that's what you're not understanding. I'm not doing it to come at you. It's just that something that's due by Friday should have not been brought up this quickly without enough information based saying yes or no on.
That's fine, it's just all the technical rights and everything, the same individual did everything for me, and, all the researches that I
I
need.
understand
the
that, but
same
we've never
individual.
met this individual, so how are we to base wanting to hire him on? That's what you're not understanding. If you really truly wanted this to happen by the 15th, this should have been discussed weeks ago, so that we would have all the information correct. The CFO would have to go through all this, to see how it would affect our budget. None of that's been put in place.
He's not being paid by Woodlynne, but he's gonna be paid by the grant itself, so.
Who's gonna
but
oversee it
again,
in the office?
but-
There's going to have to be somebody that's responsible for it, correct?
That's correct, somebody's gonna be responsible.
So then who was going to get paid to do that? And how are we going to pay them? These are all the things that I'm trying to ask you.
Okay, that's no problem, we will try to, bring it up to your comfort level, and then we'll go from there. But the other partnering, it's not being paid anything, but it's just a part of the agreement that you have to have a community-based organization in this grant that will help. For instance, OU is gonna be doing weathering as a part of the contract, as a part of the grant, and it's gonna be done here in Woodlynne.
And is it for a fix?
Well, it's a part of the contract, there's statutory partnership, so if you're gonna give them, what, 10% or 20% of the grant, that's what they're gonna use to walk in Woodlynne and make sure everybody, they check your houses, if you have a bad window, a bad, door,
Is there a proposed budget that has been already drafted for this grant application?
Yes, there has been.
I guess that's one thing Council President's asking, that she would like to see.
Sure, I will show it to you, Council President. That's the big deal. Okay.
So I guess if council wants to see that, and understand that concern, what is you all's ideal plan to hit that deadline for Friday? Friday is your last day to get it in, correct?
Friday is the last.
Midnight, morning, what are we talking about? End of the day, end of the business day?
Usually they give you like, but the thing is, I don't want OEO to take over this, and if they do it, it's not gonna help us. This grant is gonna help us fix all the water problem we have in town. If we get implemented and constructed, we will never have any drainage in Woodlynne Avenue. Because we're gonna use what they call quality basin, which is like 4 basins together, water quality basin, installed at each corner of the street, it's a part of it. And, I mean, there's a whole lot, it's gonna change.
Now, is this in conjunction with Collingswood, since they own the water? We don't,
What's that?
it's Collingswood Water, so are they going to be involved in that?
No, I'm talking about the erosion water that we get in town, the flood water.
Yeah, but you said it was gonna help resolve, like, water
Flood.
problems and water.
Yeah, flood water, something like that. You know, whenever it rains, the intensity of water that's, you know, drops off on that street is too many of them. But with this, water quality basin installation will help hold it down, and then we won't have all this flood. It's totally gonna change Woodlynne, believe me, but,
Has Mark's office had opportunity to look at the specs of the grant?
You see what I'm saying?
no.
We
No,
can't
but
hear
I
very
talked
much.
to his boss about it.
Our office isn't familiar with this grant application process. This is something new that we're not aware of.
Well, Mark, it's the same grant that I approached you to see if you guys can help us apply. And then you say you guys don't do it, never done it before.
Right, the light is on.
Yeah, it's not for the
And
law.
that
We can hear
was
everybody
back in
because they're very
March.
bad. Can't.
When the light goes off, let us know.
Bluetooth pairing.
Is this something that we can discuss?
No, we could hold off the appointment, you know, and then I'll get all the things that will make it much more understanding and comfortable. Like I said, we had towards the end of December to submit this, and I had several opportunities to discuss this with you guys, but because of the election that just came in, the council, all that submission, they can move it back. Okay, what am I supposed to do? But again, it is what it is. But the statutory one, if it's okay with you guys, all we are doing is, yeah, we wanna work with this, what do you call them, CVO individual. We wanna work with the CVO individual, and as well as, we wanna work with the Rockford University for their advice on how to deal with wetland. And, that's the 3 of them. So the other one, we can hold on to it until we get all the specificity, make sure everybody is on board with it. And then we'll move on. Is that okay? That's okay.
Excuse me, I have a question. I know you're saying this individual, this consultant, but I'm not hearing name or where they're from to make sure that that's we want to pick or not. If that person does have the background and everything else, because I know that the president is always still asking for that. And I would like to know.
the name is there, the address, the address is there.
We're looking for, who's the consultant, who is this person, because you're not mentioning a name, you're just saying this thing or that, you know, not, no names or who it is or what company it is. That you want us to check, because if we have a name or the company or who it is, then we have something, but we're not hearing that, or I'm not seeing
I'm gonna
that.
give it to you. Council President, you have the one that has the name on individual name?
Yeah, it's right here. That's right here.
Yeah.
So, which one is that?
The one with your line,
And how that's being,
no, she won't know, basically.
that'll be,
Yes, we might need more things to keep in mind, though. I do wanna know, but the nice is what it is.
Yes, yes.
Mayor, I was reading, and the consultant, I know is coming from North Jersey, okay? And also said that he has mostly, you know, all the experience with a lot of modular homes. Are we talking about also the modular homes that we have here?
we don't have any.
One of them? That's not one? Okay. All right, thank you.
Again, you know, I apologize for bringing this to your attention so sharply. And it was necessary because of the pushback on the date on it. And also, I just want us to know that, New Beginning, OEO, and also Rockford University have been following through on this, on what we are doing here. And this grant is made possible also by CBO to CBO can apply. So in other words, OEO can match with New Beginning and take over, or they are ones that take over, will lose everything. That is grant.
See, my question for you is, see, I work with OEO as well, through my job. Okay, so I know like individuals can do go through OEO on their own, so how would OEO benefit doing anything for an individual township, because they're a county organization?
Okay.
And like I said, anybody from the general public, as long as they meet the income guidelines, can fill out an application and obtain money from OEO themselves.
Yeah, because the grant, Woodlynne is at the head of it, and we tell OEO, the money we give it to you must be spent here in Woodlynne. Now, because of the income guideline of the individual, or the average income guideline of people that live in Woodlynne, their base is usually 40,000, we will tell them to increase it to 50,000 income baseline. And then when they send out their paperwork for people that live in Woodlynne to fill out, then if you qualify based on that 50, we don't have most majority of people who owns property in Woodlynne get into it, we can also raise the income level. It's what we tell them on the income level is what they're gonna use. However, everything.
But the income levels on OEO are state-based.
That's
It's
correct.
state-based income, so I'm not understanding how we are able to increase a state-based income with OEO, since they are a county organization.
I believe maybe because this is not a state grant, it's a federal grant. And being a federal grant and us being in the helm of it, so they have to follow what we ask them to do.
And do you have any of that portion of what you're telling me for fact in writing? Because like I said, I work with these organizations, so it's kind of not.
Well, I have discussed it, we'll have discussed it with the OEOC. He's the one that told me that their base is 30. And then I said to him, well, in Woodlynne, we might, if you use 30, you might get maybe 2% of the population.
Get more than that in Woodlynne.
Okay.
It's based on annual income and then the amount of people that are in your home, and the levels have increased steadily over the last few years. It is, so I don't know where you're getting like that 30,000 from, because it's not just based on the 30,000, it goes in increments.
Well,
According to family size.
that's what they told me. And then I said to him, this is gonna be for Woodlynne resident. And if we couldn't pick up a whole lot of residents, then we raise the income level up so they can pick more. But again, I mean, we could leave that, appointment for Emmanuel, and, if we can get the, statutory, partnership with these three, people, that will also help, and then we go from there. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
I appreciate. Thank you. Again, I'm so sorry for bringing this very, very late to you guys.
One more question I have. Who applied for this grant? Was it the city council, or was it just, who was the person who applied for this grant?
We haven't applied yet. What we did was, I applied for consultation with the EPA, DC. So they agreed to give me consultation. And then I went to the NOFA and started writing. And then look at the map, they saw the water and see our need. I even sent them a video that I had one time it was raining. And the influx coming from Ferry Avenue, Cedar coming to Woodlynne, and they saw how bad the water this area can be in a treatment of an eye, depending on the intensity of the rain. And everything everything I send to them get critiques, and they bring it back. Not just critiques, sending email back and forth, but it's critiques, and then we have a video conference every Saturday, and they will tell me, this at this point, that at this point, if you don't do it that way, it will not be a beneficiary for you, and you may not get the. So last week Saturday, we got to the point that everything is all good to go. So I look at it like if we finally drop it in on the, I don't know what kind of photo is, something government.gov. We drop it in, we have the chance of getting the grant. I also have spoken to, our CFO, okay, and he was supposed to write how he manages the grant, and so on and so forth. It's a part of the thing to put in there. However, he advised me to make sure that I talk to the council, and once I finish talking to the council, to let him know so that he can write just maybe 5 lines or 6 lines how he manages grant. And in our discussion with him, he mentioned the software that he uses to manage the grant and so on and so forth. But we can, see where we can move forward in this. Is again, this grant will change Woodlynne. And so again, in summary, again, Emmanuel was very helpful, okay, and when I spoke to Mr. Bob, associate, and Mr. Bob asked me to send him all the stuff that we wrote, and then I consulted with Emmanuel. Emmanuel said to me, you send it to them, anybody you send this thing out is not very, it's not gonna be good, because this is still his work, although he's giving it to me to use, and that I shouldn't. But I mentioned to Mr. Bob that the work is for him to help us because we don't have system of drainage. Drainage here doesn't come to each other. And I said to Mr. Bob, I would like them to connect every drainage from where we install it to where it's gonna be so that all the system will be working together and be holding water. So I couldn't send that to now.
I have one more question. I know that you already have a consultant, right? Name, in here. But who recommended this person consultant?
Well, when I brought it in here, around lunchtime, April time, and I didn't get any help to move forward with it. So I started talking to people who didn't know anybody that writes grant who can help. So that's how I got recommended by him. You met him before. Council said she hasn't met him. He came here with the two other guys and they talked to us. I don't know if you guys remember.
So he was part of the people that wanted to buy the land,
All the people from
but
the
that doesn't
land-
qualify him as a grant writer. He was coming to look to purchase land. That's what I mean, we don't know him, no, we met him at a meeting because they wanted to buy land.
Question number 3 here. Okay, so you said you can hold off on the one question? Which one's the one that you need? One of the questions, and Mr. Solicitor, if you handle it, as far as each one of them being named for part of this project, is there any fee that would be involved? That's the concern I would have for our RFQ that we need to go out.
So normally there wouldn't be, I get to work with grants office, Steve. Normally we would have submitted a letter of support to whoever their partner with this is. We would have gotten a chance to look at it with everybody, including myself. We would approve them as a partner. And then you submit the grant package along with the budget in terms of who's getting what, submitting that as approved. And I understand what the mayor is saying, whatever he was talking about, that I guess the due date for the grant got moved up to, not in December, now it's gonna be this Friday. And like tied to the election results, Friday, to get some things done. So all the information everybody wants to see is not here. I understand the concern of supporting someone to be compensated.
No, I understand.
Right.
Well, I understand with the
But
one.
in terms of those partnerships.
Those 3 partnerships, when you're dealing with a partnership, my concern would be, because that's where I just don't wanna see us get caught with saying, you know, we have an invoice because of some work. that was
So it would normally be attached to the grant monies if you get the grant. So again, I haven't seen the budget. But if there's a budget that says OEO gets 15%.
Who would determine that?
Whoever drafted the budget.
Who's drafting the budget?
That's what
These partnerships, they're included with the grant with us?
How would you not be into this? Course.
Like I said, the OEM, they're gonna be doing. So they're gonna do that.
So that's the only thing I look at is just as far as the partnership, how is that broken in the pie? As far as who's getting what, the only thing that, something that will show what percentage of what's going into, because obviously, you know, whatever, it's not clear, you're naming them as a partner, but again, even though you don't have an agreement contract with either one of them to specifically say how much we get and what, I just want to be where we interpret it one way and they're interpreting another way, and then we're in a battle of going back and forth for who's gonna get paid or what.
I don't think it's gonna go to that route.
No, I'm just saying, in perspective, when everybody's looking at the piece of the pie, and trust me, and, when it's something about money, it's.
Well, we're the lead out, and everything is gonna be done here in town. So no matter whatever we give them, they're gonna be getting it done here in town.
And it gets paid if we get this grant, so
Yes.
if nothing comes through, all this work that was done, we don't have to pay them anything. No, no, what I'm saying, let's just say, I'm just being hypothetical speaking, say we don't get the grant, it's awarded to another township or whatever. We don't get it, and all the work that was being done, we're not gonna get a bill from them?
No, they haven't done anything. I mean, nothing has been done.
Okay,
All
but I'm
we
just
say
saying
is, this is what you're gonna do, it's gonna be done.
But that's what I'm saying, as a partner here, you're talking about a partner,
No.
but that's what I'm saying, it's not clear, so I guess it should be there, something in there, so council can get it, and look at it, and, I mean, I don't know how your language is, they will have to show that, even though they didn't get the grant, we're not held accountable to pay them anything.
Well, frankly, being blunt, it's 9:30 PM, and it'd be hard to do anything like that on the floor. These are real concerns of legitimacy. It seems like if, Mayor, if you're intent on getting this in by Friday, or Thursday evening, that there would have to be, one, get all that information around disseminated to the council, then have, you can do it via Zoom or telephonically, an emergency meeting, perhaps on Thursday, see where everyone's head is at, and if it's approval.
They're not gonna have
But
no
tonight,
time to advertise.
right, but tonight, that's why I said that'd be the emergency meeting.
The sound went out again. We really can't hear anything that's going on. Sorry. We can't hear anything. And I'm in the front row.
It sounds like, I'm not sure if that's.
No, it's not, this goes off after a period of time, I don't know why.
The mic on the sound system.
The question is, these partnerships.
No, it has to be turned off and then back on, I don't know why.
Bluetooth pairing.
They got the mic.
Yeah, they have the mics up there.
So it's gonna be working with these three as part of the grant. And then the money's gonna be awarded to all four, to Woodlynne and to this partnership.
No, the one is gonna be awarded to Woodlynne.
To Woodlynne.
Yes.
But the issue is that
And then
the
Woodlynne.
grant would have who gets paid what in the budget, and none of us have seen that aspect, so I don't think that goes to concern this case, third round.
So these people are expecting some kind of financial,
If they get
If we get the money, okay, if we get the money, we can say, okay, you're gonna get, 7 million for one ratio.
who determined that?
We determine that.
So you determine.
I recorded that.
What they wanna watch.
Well, yeah, but depending on what we're applying for.
Our budget should be.
Welcome to your electric wheelchair.
That everyone can see.
Reverse.
Make decisions.
Please use caution.
Is that information is not correct. So that, I'm gonna recommend acting on it without that information. However, you don't decide, you wanna call us and call, it has to be an emergency, not a special meeting. Get there by Friday, that's up to you.
So I have a question. So how often does this type of grant, how often is this usually proposed? Is this an annual type of thing that you can apply for? Because if we miss that deadline, and that was your intent, was to be able to conclude this so that way we could potentially move forward. I don't really see that happening tonight because of the unanswered questions that we seem to all have. But moving forward, if it doesn't get fulfilled tonight, doesn't get fulfilled by the deadline, how often will this circle back around? That way we're more prepared for it the next time it comes around.
I really don't know how often it circles around. I don't know if it's gonna be out there after 6 months or after a year. But I know each one lasts for 3 years. This is for a 3 years project.
Okay, so this is for a 3-year project.
Yes.
So, with that being said, so prior to 3 years, has this type of grant been put to the municipalities before?
We have never gone to any grant of this magnitude.
Okay, so then that further adds to us needing to have, more answers to the questions that we have about,
So I guess to answer your question in a broader context, historically,
correct?
keyword historically, the various departments have had numerous grants throughout the year that states, local bodies, different corporations, you can apply for and get them. Some of them are with the EPA, some of them with whatever the agency is. They all have different ones you can apply for, whatever responsive to what you're trying to do. So ideally, next year, there'd be a bunch of other ones that Woodlynne could apply for. Some of them, your engineers already do. Apparently, this is one that was outside their purview, but there will be other programs. So if you all want to start going after federal or state grant programs more often, more frequently, you can try to work with your staff that you have on hand, or maybe look at hiring some professionals in the future to help you be more aggressive in going after grant funding.
Mr. Solicitor, sorry, if we do for immersion meeting, we have to give out the,
You gotta post it on the door, and then you gotta put it out on the internet, you gotta post it out in the paper after you have the meeting, and it has to be a situation that would put the borough at a severe disadvantage or pose some other harm if you don't take that action at that time when you're advertising like that.
if we put it in the paper, tomorrow's the deadline.
We won't get, right, we won't get the paper.
Come out Friday morning.
Because, again,
The
if that-
register will be out Friday morning,
Mhm.
so we can do that when we put it in. We have the, depending on the time, 48 hours notice.
I mean, your issue, again, I'm not gonna get too far into the public meeting. You gotta hit that threshold when you're doing an emergency meeting where there's some type of imminent harm that could be done. And that could be something people could argue is their opinion. Is this something that's an imminent harm? Is there some severe disadvantage the municipality would be in if we don't try to secure this funding? Could make a case like this. Somebody has an issue with you in the public, go, I don't think that's that, and then you're litigating that possibly. So there are pros and cons to having emergency meetings all the time, but that's just the general threshold. Wanted to be parts of that right
Your recommendation is that have a special meeting?
I mean, given the time frame and how long it takes to get stuff in the paper, you probably will have to approve this like on Thursday, if you made Friday, and I have some. You have to approve it on Thursday, and that has to be put in. They would have to get that information to everybody probably by tomorrow, which is Wednesday. Everyone to review it, have a certain level of comfort, get it okay on Thursday. If your package is already ready to go. That's a lot to happen in 48 hours, everyone's gonna do this part-time, but it's possible, but that's, you all want to do that. That's you all decisions and everything.
Yeah, and just to bring to everyone's knowledge again, if we decided we're not going with this, that's no problem. This is a free money from the federal that will now come to Woodlynne. However, like I said, we've been talking with OEO and New Beginning, and they might take over on it and get the money themselves. And that's not the township can do for non-profit organizations. We will lose that fund. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
Let me ask you a question. How long that all this information that I'm hearing, which I never heard it before, why wasn't it ever brought up different other meetings that we had politics, or we had different meetings that we had here, and nothing was brought up? Because if this is important, it should have been brought up, had the special meeting, then the public be awareness and everything else, instead of waiting for the last minute that you making
We were
this
just talking about that,
decision about it.
it was moved on because of the presidential election, they're gonna be changing cabinets, so that's why they want to try to move forward before.
Right.
Or changes.
would have had some time, but they kind of like just dumped it and say, we need this sooner now.
I know, but what I'm saying is that we knew it, prior meeting, and then it comes to here, then we could have voted yes or no, right? And then would have been simple, instead of just all these questions that President of the Council, the other council have, because we don't have all that information. Only the mayor has it, the president, I don't know whoever does, but not the city council. Because the most important thing, we got voted here, city council, right? It's for the township and for the public, right? And we have to make that decision for them, not just two-person making decisions without the township knowing it and without us knowing it. Because it's not fair.
You're definitely right. Again, this is all community-based organization grant. So community-based means people who have a community that they are serving, that are
Reverse.
non-profit
Please use caution.
that have non-profit organization, and it is something I think I can be able to help our community to get. However, we've seen other townships like Atlantic City getting it with a community base, and also we have to do agreement with the statutory partnership, and that is why we involved the council, so that we can do the statutory based thing. And also to allow Mr. Emmanuel not only to help us with this grant, and also to help us with future grants, since he knows a lot of things about grant and how to write it. But as it may be, this, even if on the Excel sheet that we say we're gonna give them 7,000 or 8,000, whatever we give them is what they're gonna spend here in Woodlynne. Okay? So if we give them small, that's what they're gonna spend here in Woodlynne. If we give them more, that's what they're gonna spend here in Woodlynne. The only person that doesn't really spend that much, but advise us on the technicality issues, is the Rockwell University, and they're addressing us how to deal with the water that we have back there.
I guess, Mayor, the next step is, I guess, engaging the council, because there's going to be a motion on the floor this evening in regards to these resolutions, of whether or not you all want to review this information and see, get together tomorrow to see if you want to have a special meeting to rush this through on Friday for an application. That's up to you all.
That's the only way to do it. This has to be reviewed properly. We can't just jump into something like, CFO hasn't even had time to review, like, any numbers, how we're gonna pay employees for extra time in the city. I mean, the only two feasible ones is the mental health and the one with Rutgers, because we're not involving an outside consulting fee. The rest of these, he's asking us to hire on a consultant that we absolutely know nothing about. So I can't see moving forward with something like that, and with no budget. I mean, it's just ludicrous, you just can't. I just can't in good conscience do that, I'm sorry.
I don't understand.
If we have a special meeting,
What is doing?
For Friday, well, you can advertise it and be in the paper on Friday. And it is, what's the deadline to submit it on Friday? And then
A special meeting needs 48 hours, only when it doesn't is emergency.
Okay. But still won't hurt your advertising.
So with the emergency, if you do that, you gotta put it online immediately, put it outside the building, put it outside the school. Then after you have the meeting, post in the paper the purpose and why you did it and what passed.
Okay, so you can have, if you do the emergency, then instead of doing the paper, you're saying then have the meeting on Thursday?
I would do it on Friday if you can, if you give enough time to look at it, otherwise we can agree. But it depends
We're gonna see what the
what that
deadline-
what that deadline is.
What time is the deadline for the person to submit it?
So Mayor, if you get that information to everybody on Monday morning.
Monday?
I mean, tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. So everybody can take a look at it. Right now, you probably got to move on with the agenda.
Okay. Again, I thank you for hearing me out. I apologize that I have to bring this to you in a short notice. It's not the way that it was planned, but again, because of the new administration, permitting everything is trying to get moved out as soon as possible, so that nothing gets squeezed. That said, do we have any more new business?
Wait, Mr. Solicitor, should we make any motion or anything for special, to call for emergency meeting here at this meeting? Pending that everything gets, all the information, we can at least notify the public here now, we'll put it on record that we're gonna plan to have this emergency meeting. Or,
Yeah, I mean, there's no harm to do so. I mean, you don't have to, there's no harm in doing so. You could, if you resolve to do that. That's what you want to do. Bless you.
thank you. Chair, you wanna call and say, a motion to call for special meeting?
Sure.
You want to do Friday or Thursday? I don't know what you got on Wednesday.
I'll see if I can find a deadline. We can come back to it. I'll try to find a deadline while you moving through.
No, we'll come back to that.
Can we say that, depends on the date and time?
He's
That has to be.
gonna look for you.
I know that, but I'm saying.
We'll come back, we're gonna come back.
Okay.
Sam Brown. They just plug me in and out, I can do that.
November 21st is the application closing date of the listed right here.
Sorry to interject, can I just unplug that? Is that all that has to get done, is get plugged back in
And the
again?
back of it, just put the power switch on and off and then turn it back on.
That's a lot easier than
Thank
just
you.
interrupting over and over
And the
again.
bottom,
November 21st at 1:59 p.m.
Or not.
too fast.
Okay.
So you got to the end of the day. November 21st.
Bluetooth pairing.
So we do have the time.
Next Thursday.
Then we should be calling for a special meeting.
So you can have time for a special meeting instead of doing emergency in 48 hours. They just, this is August 6th, that's the most recent one you saw, man. For this grant. Just the update we put out for August 6th.
All right, let's go to, ordinance number 2024-4, an ordinance amending chapter 87 of the Code of Woodlynne, County, State of New Jersey, entitled Parking Handicap. And I please,
This was table, we wanted to move it from the table. And that's it. Any motion to remove from the table?
ordinance 2024-4 was previously tabled because we wanted the police to investigate to make sure that we can possibly approve a handicap to somebody who's not driving but living in the same house, being the mother, taking care of her. So, can I get motion and second to remove it from table, please?
Motion.
So, full vote, please.
Mr. Fontanes?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Mr. Feliciano? Yes. President?
Yes.
Alright, this is an ordinance amending chapter 87 of the Code of the Borough of Woodlynne County, State of New Jersey, entitled Parking Handicap. Can I get motion and second?
Motion.
Second.
Any question? Full vote, please.
Mr. Fontanes?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Mr. Feliciano?
Yes.
President Early?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Resolution 2024-62. It's a resolution between the Borough of Woodlynne and Shop Service Agreement and the Borough of Belmont in Camden County, State of New Jersey. This is related to the rental of equipment and manpower, concrete asphalt, and emergency sanitary sewer repair in Woodlynne. Now, please get motion and second.
Motion.
Any question? Full vote, please.
Mr. Fontanes?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Mr. Feliciano?
Yes.
President Early?
Yes.
Yes. Resolution 2024-63. Resolution of the Borough of Woodlynne, Camden County, State of New Jersey, the annual audit of its book, accounts, and financial transaction for the year 2023. Can I please get motion and second?
Motion.
Second.
Any question? Full vote?
Mr. Fontanes?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Mr. Feliciano?
Yes.
President Early?
Yes.
Resolution 2024-64, resolution of the Borough of Woodlynne, Camden County, approving the corrective action plan for the audit year 2023. Can I get motion and second, please?
Motion.
Second. Any questions? Full vote?
Mr. Fontanes?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes? Mr. Feliciano?
Yes.
President Early?
Yes.
Yes. Resolution 2024-65. Agreement between the Borough of Woodlynne and the County of Camden for the County of Camden to provide police service to and for the Borough of Woodlynne. Can I please get motion and second?
Motion.
Second.
Any question from the council? Full vote?
Mr. Fontanes?
Yes.
Fuentes?
Yes.
Feliciano?
Yes.
President Early.
Yes.
Oh, yes. At this time, I will ask Chief Rodriguez if you wanna say anything.
Sorry.
I will ask Chief Rodriguez if you wanna say anything.
No, we're excited to provide services. We've been here for a couple months now. We hope the residents and the community are happy with us being here. The station downstairs should be complete by the end of the week, so you'll have your station back here, your officers being dispatched out of this building, and folks who come in for services as well. We're also gonna be rolling out some community outreach this week, so there's gonna be a lot of door knocks, a lot of informational packets being handed out, so you know what resources you all have now with us being here. So with that said, thank you, and we're excited to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have one thing. I do thank you because first time I've seen cops walking, which is the best thing to happen in this township. I see them going Parker Avenue, different street, Woodlynne, but they are walking. I'm not gonna call it beat, cop. It's just walking around, reading the people talking, and the people being aware that there is a cop that's walking up and down the street. I do appreciate that. Thank you.
I just want to say, speaking to the officers that these guys retain here, appreciate that. They're very excited, they're very pleased. You can see right away the morale with them, how they feel. They feel now that, there's a voice, there's leadership, and they really feel comfortable. And really, I want to say thank you, really, through your whole department, Chief, Deputy Chief, thank you. The communication's been really well. Lieutenant Lee, thank you. I mean, I see you here, you're doing beyond. I appreciate what you're doing. Thank you. It's great to know also that, we had, Captain Sarlo, who's originally from Woodlynne, his ancestors' family. They had the old flower shop here on Woodlynne Avenue, which is now the Mexican restaurant, bakery. And, we have, Sergeant Hinton, who was originally came from Woodlynne, and is a sergeant. So, these are, leaders that we have that's familiar with the community. So again, thank you.
Thank you. Resolution 2024-66, the resolution of the Borough of Woodlynne, County, State of New Jersey, authorizing payment to bills, rates, and ticket, cost and second.
Motion.
Second.
Any question from council? Full vote, please.
Mr. Fontanes?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Feliciano? President Early.
Yes.
Approval of the bill, prepaid bill. Can I please get motion and second?
Motion.
Second.
Any question? Full vote, please.
Mr. Fontanes?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Feliciano?
Yes.
President Early.
Yes.
Any other new business? Public council? We down now to the public portion. Now please get motion and second to open to the public.
Motion. Second.
At this time, this meeting is open to the public. Please stand up, state your address and your name.
All right, I'm Celine Price at 133 Cooper Avenue, Woodlynne. And I also want to thank the police department as well, because you've done a good job. First time I've ever heard of a
It's
police
addressed me here,
report.
excuse me.
Oh, I just wanted to say.
I understand, but it's to address the mayor. You can say
Mayor.
thank you every time.
Could you say, thank you, Mayor? All right, thank you, council, for voting everyone in. And I want to say thank you to the police department as well. I didn't know the crime was, so high after hearing that police report, oh my God. But thank you for doing that, I appreciate that. Also, I have a question about the EPA money, comments and questions. Number one, I wanna say that this is money that is gonna help Woodlynne homeowners. And I don't know all the particulars about it, but I don't see how we're gonna vote millions of dollars down that's gonna help these old homes here get repaired or get sold. So I hope you don't vote it down. If we gotta meet a deadline on November 15th, that means you guys gotta work a little harder and let's get it done. The deadline was moved up, is that correct? Because of the election? It was December?
We did find out the deadline is the 21st. I know it's hard to hear. It's the 21st. There's some maintenance that they posted that will be going on between now and the 21st. So they did recommend applicants try to get it in as early as they can. But the deadline's the 21st. So as long as everyone does what they plan to do, hopefully they can make a decision to act on it. So.
And if they don't, what happens?
Then they have to go for another funding opportunity in the future.
Oh, so, okay, so, very good. Okay. So what were you saying about the 15th of November?
That was, in the notice, I guess, when the mayor was looking at what he was looking at, it was saying that was the last day before they do maintenance on the grant system.
Oh.
But it'll be back up again, but there's gonna be some up and downs of that grant
that's
online. So
Okay.
so that led to that.
All right. Now the CBO, Community-Based Organization, right, is that the name? We don't have one here. So how would we go about forming a community-based organization to keep the money in-house and have our people here
You want me to answer?
look at it?
Okay. So normally, like maybe cities will have like little subsidiaries that they form that are kind of like their own nonprofit. They're like quasi-governmental and sometimes can be considered a CBO. Sometimes counties and states can do something like that too. Faith-based organizations have spin-offs. Nothing precludes someone in the community though from starting up a nonprofit, but your mission has to align with establish a nonprofit with what CBO is defined as for that program.
Okay, so the money, so you talk about nonprofit organization when you're talking about a CBO.
General.
So that takes time, so.
You can set up a nonprofit pretty fast, but to get one approved by the state NSA, or I think a couple months sometimes. But the mission of it is what matters when you set it up and what it is aligned to.
Okay, now, would the committee have to be residents? Like if we get a CBO here in Woodlynne, do you have to reside here in Woodlynne or?
I mean, I can't give you formal guidance on that, but if you do some Googling online, there have some parameters on how you can start them. Sometimes you're trying to start something quick, you can start a regional version of something that's national. And that's how you start things in your town that may already be known nationwide. Because some of these grants want to see that you're established and have history of providing the services. So sometimes aligning yourself with a national organization lets you get off the ground.
Like what is the name? OEO, right.
They're a state and county organization.
Okay, you're talking about the
They're not a
administrator?
community-based. OEO is an assistance program for low to moderate income
So what were
families.
you saying about OEO and the EPA? Did I
They're
miss
two
something?
different entities.
Okay, so OEO would not be the ones who would help administer these funds if we don't have a CBO. Who did you say would administer the funds if we don't have a CBO here in Woodlynne?
So,
Mayor, you did mention somebody.
because we don't have a CBO here in Woodlynne, because they are the one that are supposed to go after this grant. So we went to OEO to be a CBO, so we could use.
That's what I
that.
thought. All right. And what was the name of the other organization?
They're called New Beginning, they're gonna do workforce training.
Okay.
Because this is gonna be a revolving money, okay, whatever.
Thank you for using your electric wheelchair.
Sorry.
Sorry.
So it's gonna be like a revolving money, okay, whatever you collect out of it, you gotta train people to know how to use it, to know how to do work to be earn money in the town, doing work relating to this grant.
Okay, I understand. Because when I was asking that question, I didn't get an answer. Correct answer when I asked that.
Sorry
But you
about
explained
that.
it, thank you.
I wasn't paying attention.
No, someone else answered it, but it wasn't an answer to my question. So, do you have to have a grant? So in other words, whoever's on the CBO has to be a qualified person who can look over grants, help write grants, things like that. And do you have to be a nonprofit? Do you have to be?
So one thing I would recommend looking at, that, all these grants are posted online, and there have all the parameters about who qualifies and what kind of organization it has to be,
Okay.
and that's the best way to get that information.
Okay, so that's what you're looking at, and we have to follow that to have our own CBO. Is that correct? Am I understanding that correctly? If we want to have our own CBO, we have to follow the information that's on the website to be able to establish a LLC or someone to be able to oversee the money, a CBO, right, to form a CBO.
So you could, establish a nonprofit that falls into those parameters, based upon that mission, and then you may be eligible in the future to apply for some of those opportunities.
Okay, but it's not enough time for this.
No,
I know. That's what, yes.
No, it's not.
It's not enough
But
time.
Woodlynne,
Right.
Woodlynne residents can establish their own CBO organization, make a nonprofit, and you guys can go and apply for
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Because this grant is for CBOs to CBOs.
Okay.
Basically, okay? Now, we got involved in it because I know it will definitely change
Right.
Woodlynne entirely.
Right.
Okay, and, we reach out to a CBO that's
Okay.
already exists, so that we can be qualified
Okay.
for that. Okay, that's why.
That
we
makes
reach out
sense,
to
because we don't have our own.
Because you don't
That
have.
makes sense, okay. Well, I just want to say to council that I hope that, all of you are acting in the best interest of the homeowners here in Woodlynne, and come together to get this done and get everything submitted, because I'd hate to see us lose millions of dollars here that could help this community. Some of you probably have lived here longer than I have, but I have been here 30 years, okay? And I think we need this money. We've got a lot of old houses here, and I hope that this is not held up just by a few people on council,
Just to be clear, so there's no misunderstanding.
okay?
It's not that they wanna hold anything off.
Mhm.
It's to the fact that unfortunately, because they moved the deadline, they're moving everything up,
Mhm.
this is the first time council's seeing this.
I understand
For
that.
them to vote on something without having enough information, that there are still questions about, they need to be feeling comfortable on how to award this and to how to appoint these positions. So they know they're doing it in their diligent and a responsible way.
I understand that. I'm just saying that I hope everybody can come together and do a little overtime or whatever it takes to get this through. That's what I'm saying. All right?
I think they're trying that by doing
Okay.
a special meeting.
Well, I don't know about the special meetings because I don't get any information.
Well, it's
All
always
right?
it's always advertised.
Advertised where?
In the paper, and
The
also.
newspaper?
Yes, and also, just to let you know, it's always says on the LED light sign.
Okay.
And as the mayor mentioned, as it was just mentioned, at the
I couldn't
meeting, when
hear.
I'm sorry, you probably didn't hear from
Yeah.
here, but that's what they discussed, that they're gonna call for a special meeting
I heard
to
that.
discuss more about this.
I heard that, but you're saying the meetings are posted on the
At the
board?
LED sign.
On that board,
Outside?
right in town.
Right there, okay, where we have the lighting of the
We
tree.
put it in the
And-
paper,
Uh-huh.
and we posted in the bulletin downstairs.
Okay. And what about the yellow news flyers that we pass out? Is it posted in there?
Where to go, because the problem here is, those newsletters go out accordingly, they can go every 3 months, every 2 months, depends on what the time. But it's, again, let's do our diligence, that's why that board's there, so people can look at it, or they can call here and say, hey, when's your council meeting? And we can
Okay,
give them that.
okay, now all of you know that it doesn't happen like that here in Woodlynne. And all I wanna
Well,
know
I'm
is that you can
explaining to you,
pass
you're
out.
saying for your
I understand
information.
what you're saying.
I'm explaining for your information,
I
so you
understand.
know that if you wanna know when the meeting is, we advertise it,
But I'm asking you a question, Jerry.
and I'm answering the
I'm
question.
asking you, why isn't
One
it
second,
posted in the
please.
yellow
Excuse me.
newsletter that comes out?
Because the newsletters don't come out every time.
Well,
It
do it,
coincides
do
with
an
the time.
emergency,
One
just like
second,
you do an emergency meeting.
excuse me. The tape right now, I have to go get another tape and then we can continue. I just wanna make sure for the record that it's being recorded, that we know what you're
No
saying.
problem. And I understand.
You could donate an old phone. Phone.
First time you wanted to be. This whole platform. I don't have.
Bluetooth pairing.
So we're gonna have to hire.
We gotta get,
Back going.
we gotta fix it.
Get remote, yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying for getting speakers smaller.
Or the change of energy.
Okay.
And we also
Speakers
change of energy, make some
And you
houses.
got speakers there.
Okay, okay, just wanna double check.
Yeah, you did.
So, I'm not trying to say that, no one's doing their job or anything like that. And a lot of you are already. But what I'm saying is that I know in the past there are times when Woodlynne Council, Mayor, and all don't come together cohesively for the good of Woodlynne. And this is a lot of money. And I hope you all get the information that you need to be able to decide what to do. However, I hope it's gonna be sufficient enough that we get this money. We need this money. Okay, and I feel like if the mayor took his time to start this, that I hope everyone will come together and not just wait any day to do this, realize this is an emergency and have your special meetings. I'm sorry if I have not been to the meetings, I have not seen it posted. Maybe when I ride by, I don't see it, but I do always see the yellow news flyer. And I don't see why, if it's in the newspaper and it's in the bulletin, why it can't be on the yellow newsletter. And that's all I have to say.
One reason for that, so the record's clear on that,
Yeah.
is that, let's say today we send out the newsletter, and next thing you know, today, they want to say they want to call for a special meeting. Well, we just finished sending out a newsletter. The ideal thing would be, to look at the board, or you can call here and see if there's any, or just check with the, current post of the retrospect, which is put it in advertising.
And put it in our local newsletter.
When it goes
Woodlynn's
out.
local newsletter.
When it goes out.
When it goes out.
Unfortunately, we don't have enough to put out there.
Whenever, we only put one thing out there, that there's a special meeting about EPA, that is sufficient. But we have our own Woodlynne newsletter, and there's no reason why it cannot go into that letter. No reason whatsoever, that I know of.
Well, that's your opinion, and you're entitled to it, that's good.
Right, that's the Woodlynne newsletter, right
Thank you,
here.
thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you. Is anybody else from the community? If not, can I get motion and second to close by public portion?
Motion.
All right, what was the second?
So dry.
There's no reason why. No, it's,
Oh. Mr. Fontanez? Yes. Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Mr. Luciano? President Early?
Yes.
okay, let me go back from where we left off. The new business, it has been determined that we will do a special meeting, on,
Tell me when. You want to do tonight? What's next Tuesday?
Thursday, the 21st.
Right.
Next Tuesday, right?
I have to leave also.
You guys didn't believe? Well, too bad. Skip Martini hour and get your butts in
We could do
here.
Monday.
You'll be around Monday?
No?
Starts Tuesday. And then we'll do
The
it.
earlier, we start earlier.
Maybe
It's not-
we'll do
You
it
know,
for
plus the Eagles game Thursday anyway.
Monday.
Council President, the reason why they say that 15 is because their website will be off from 16, 17, 18,
We saw that on
19.
Yeah, we saw
We
it.
saw that already.
We saw
Yeah,
it, yeah.
and then they come back on 20th, and 24th is the last day. What about if the problem continues?
Are you,
That's it.
what do you have on the first one you want to buy? First buy it, so it's like, I mean, virtual or in person?
And what, you guys want Zoom? Man?
I'll bring my own on it.
Let me know when I can call in.
I need to know because we have to set up, to send all the information to the paper. If we're gonna do a Zoom or we're just gonna do it here. Can we not make him, what we say, Monday?
Monday, yeah.
Monday date, what's that date?
Monday is 18th.
Would that work for you, Mayor?
I mean, obviously, they work for me, but if we do it on 15th, would that be a problem?
What date is it?
15th is Friday.
Let's do soon.
I don't think we're on Friday, sorry. Can we do Monday? Back to Monday.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't you guys earlier were agreeing to do it Thursday or Friday, to send it Friday, and you guys agreed to that, and then because the date has been
The
changed,
reason
now
why
you're
I'm
saying
saying-
Monday?
We have an extension to next week, so
Yeah, I know that.
The reason why I'm saying 15th is if by any chance and you guys are okay with what you saw and decided to move forward with this on 15th, it will still give them the opportunity to download these 3 papers. However,
I mean, we could do it 15, you
if we
need a
do it on
regular meeting and
If
vote
we
it
do it on
Monday.
the 18th, the website is still down up until 20th or 21st, I believe.
21st.
21st, and then you got 1 day. And what about if the glitch moves on? That means you will not submit.
I mean, to have a special meeting, if you want Friday, and then come back Monday and vote. But everybody could
So
think,
come in on Friday and then come back in on Monday, is that what you're saying?
That's what it sounds like.
Information, then you move forward.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
We should be able to
We
make
want
a
the same thing,
decision.
Yeah, we're not gonna drag it out.
Right.
That's too
You
late.
might want to type it under the draft, so you get the approval, then you just hit the OK button, you copy that. Start putting it all in the system, just save the draft. And once you get the OK, that way you're not worried about trying to get it all in the last.
So what date are we looking at, so I can advertise? And when we do Zoom, or we doing live?
I think you all agree with that.
Okay, for me,
I mean, I have no problem live.
I'd be more comfortable with Monday because the CFO has to look over that budget too before we even meet.
You wanna do it live, or you guys wanna do it Zoom?
Yeah, we should be happy.
We can do that.
Wanna do it live? Do it live on Monday, a regular meeting, a special meeting for Monday.
Okay.
I'm not gonna hold up the meeting. I will probably be able to do it live, but if you Zoom again, it comes out, or call me.
You know, on-
Great.
Okay, that's it.
Gonna call for a special meeting for Monday, what time, 7:00?
7:00.
7 PM? And that being what date?
Somebody bring things up.
So, Monday the 18th will be a special meeting at 7 PM.
I guess it's the purpose for approving, for reviewing, submission of the EPA permit.
So we get the package sometime tomorrow, right?
Again, we'll talk to the minor and see what he, because this is still his stuff. Like I said to you, Rock Association wanted to see it, and that's what came 2 weeks ago. He wasn't good. So I will talk to him and try to cancel one of the other stuff because after that, and then hopefully he won't have any objections, surely to the council.
Okay.
So, Ms. Price, the meeting's been a special meeting scheduled for Monday at 7 PM here.
Okay, I'll make sure I try to bring people here. Will it be open to the public to speak, or is it just to listen?
Excuse me? I didn't hear you.
Will it be open to the public to speak, or is it just a meeting to listen to what you're?
To listen to what they're going to
Okay.
say. But you'll have the opportunity, there'll be a portion for public to speak, but by that time, council will either already voted on the resolution.
Okay.
Okay, at this time, can I have a motion and second to adjourn the meeting?
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Please, I do.
Everyone, good night.